Hi, good morning. Happy Friday. Welcome to practice. We are looking, I can't believe it already, at the weekend. I will say, I saw in my newsletter from Mystic Medusa, the astrologer, that today things that have been astrologically difficult, thorny, irritating, locked down, obstacle laden are clearing up. So that's good news for us that over the weekend we should feel a little bit like we can breathe after kind of a heavy week astrologically. So I'm quite glad to hear that. And we are in the month of Santa Muerte in the Mount Shasta Goddess Temple. We are honoring still our ancestors. This is the month of the ancestors in the temple. You'll see from our social media posts, which are created by the wonderful Jasai and Shaylee, that we're posting images about Santa Muerte, about her worship, her devotion, her different forms. So if you don't already follow Mount Shasta Goddess at Mount Shasta Goddess on Instagram or Mount Shasta Goddess Temple on Facebook, you can find us there. I am on TikTok as at Mount Shasta Goddess, but I don't make a lot of content there yet. In time, I will step up my video game on that channel, but I'm going to close the chapter on Facebook before I do that, where there will come a time where I'm not necessarily broadcasting on Facebook anymore, but I'll be broadcasting on the Goddess Temple app, and I might get to the point where I can do that on TikTok. So some of those things are coming in time. The other thing that I'm going to be doing is probably in the next week to 2 weeks, I'll be posting about in the Goddess Temple app about the Mount Shasta Goddess Symposium, which takes place at the spring equinox. And we'll be accepting proposals for online presentations. It's entirely online. And it's free for all the members of the app to attend. So if you don't have an account in the Goddess Temple app, go on over there and create one so that you can access the free Mount Shasta Goddess Symposium come spring. And it's a showcase of the talents of our priestesses. So let's now dive into practice. And we're going to sing our song for Santa Muerte and light a candle for her. Madre mía, Santa Muerte, ante las dificultades de la vida, ayúdame. En mis desaciertos, ilumíname. En mis soledades, acompáñeme. En las horas difíciles, fortaléceme. En más tentaciones, defiéndeme. En las peñas y tristezas, consuélame. Con tu inmenso poder, protégeme. Con tu infinito amor, ámame. Con tu gran bondad, mírame. Con tu mano providente, guíame. Así sea por siempre. Amen. Yesterday, our card was Sacred Action, and oh my goodness, I took some sacred action yesterday. I hope you did too. Um, if you are a Mandala member of the Goddess Temple app, go look at the Priestess Maxims folder. I managed to get up through number 34 up there. So we had been at 21 before I went on my trip. And then yesterday, I just doubled down and I got up through 34. My plan is that by the end of the day to get through number 37. So that should provide some reading material for some. And that's as part of the current Priestess Maxims class that I'm teaching. The Priestess Maxims class, it's a 6-week class. We've just had the first week. We go until mid-December. And it's an opportunity for individuals who are curious about studying with the Goddess Temple and becoming priestesses here to get to know the basis of priestesshood a little bit better. It's good for existing priestesses who are looking to refine their practice or take it to the next level. So there's still space to join. If you decide you'd like to join, it would have to really be by Tuesday in order to be caught up, but I will be offering it again next year. So let's see. That was my sacred action. You're free to report your sacred action if you like. And Brian says, do I accept men too? I actually do have a class that is for men and women and all genders that will start in January. It's called Raise the Temple, and it's a class about the process of creating a temple of your own. And men are welcome to join the Goddess Temple app and can read the Priestess Maxims there. The language is gendered female because historically women are underrepresented in the fields of spiritual authority, but the concepts are for everyone. Okay, so our card today, setting boundaries. Boom, number 30, setting boundaries. Well, this is interesting because in this deck, it's number 30. And then our card from Monday, hostilities, was number 31. I guess if you set good boundaries, you will encounter fewer hostilities. Threshold, protection, and honor. And it shows a woman with a snow leopard. This seems to be a theme in this deck that I'm just kind of waking up to this theme that there's a big cat in every card. How great. I love big cat energy. That's all I need to say about that. The priestess of the threshold holds up her hands with palms outward, projecting a field of protective light before her. The strong and stately snow leopard, who lives a solitary life in the highest reaches of the mountains, looks over her shoulder, standing guard. This card brings you a message of both caution and encouragement. It's time to take an honest look at the boundaries you set. How do you view your importance in your own life? Are you sacrificing your priorities and self care to prioritize the needs and wishes of others? Are you putting up with demands, dismissal, marginalization, or even disrespect from the people in your life? If so, it's time to put up your hands and say, enough. You may have been allowing others to cross your personal threshold and invade your time, energy, or space, but this card is telling you that you now have to shift the pattern. Start to set clear limits today and make yourself a priority in your own life. Your soul deserves to be honored, and you must be the first person to make that choice. When you do, you will finally receive the respect and prioritization from others that you've been longing for all along. The affirmation today: I choose to make myself my own priority. I have the power to set boundaries and honor myself always. I could kiss this card. This card is doing the work for me. 7 out of 10 women who come to me for readings, people in general, but mostly I read for women. 7 out of 10 women who come to me for readings need this advice, that we are allowed to take up space in our own card. Yes, and Vanessa says, yes to this card. I'm feeling it too. Yes to this card. Setting boundaries in such a way that prioritizes yourself, your well-being, and your needs are, this is a crucial part of being a priestess, a spiritual person, a diviner, certainly an empath. As an empathic person, you will easily feel bowled over by the needs of others. And so much so, as I have learned, although I don't say that I'm an empath as like my main identification, but I do, especially in readings, have strongly empathic tendencies. I can feel what other people are feeling. And what I found over time is that sometimes I will just compromise my own safety and comfort in order to just get it to stop, whatever the onslaught of someone else's need feeling is, because I can't stand to feel the feeling. Oh, wonderful. Thank you, Brian. That's so nice. Brian says, I'll be contacting you to donate a statue of Guanyin. Thank you so much. That's really meaningful. I can't wait to get to communicate with you about it. And I'll take a picture of her and put her in the shrine, and I'll say thank you on broadcast. So just back to the card. When we are in this card, Willow says, love this card. Autumn says, today and always. When we are in our boundaries, we are self-caring as opposed to self-sacrificing. It doesn't mean that we aren't doing for others. It means that we're not giving up our safety and well-being. Now, I'm going to take this to the next level. I follow a content creator, brilliant man, George Kao, Kao. On Instagram, he's at GEOKAO. He is fantastic about this, and I recommend everyone go follow him. He said something the other day on one of his posts. It was a game changer for me. I was like, oh my God. He said about giving your services away for free to family and friends. He said, your family and friends should be the people who want to pay you for your services because they want to see you succeed. Let's just sit with that for a minute. The family and friends around you who care about you and want you to succeed want to pay you for your services. If you feel tempted to give for free to family and friends, it's okay if there's something that you just genuinely love them and you want to share. But if you feel tempted to give because of the relationship, why are you not asking yourself the question about the relationship? Why aren't they wanting to support me if they care about me? This is so important, Autumn says. I preach this. Yes. This is an important thing. And I think a lot of us, especially because we care about the people around us, we want to give for free. We want to be like, sure. Oh, yeah, I'll give you a reading for free. I'll do a ceremony for free. I'll sit with you for, several hours and help you with this task for free. And then where does it end? Like, I'll clean your house for free. I'll cook for you for free. And then pretty soon, you realize that people are just starting to take it for granted. They think, oh, she just does that for me now. Oh my God. If I had $1 for every time somebody is sort of like, oh, Yesha just does that for me now. I would at least get a month's vacation. Let's just put it that way. So, setting boundaries around our worth and our value, around honoring that the people who really care about us and support us want us to succeed and will therefore pay for our services, will pay for the privilege of accessing our gifts. And that doesn't mean that we can't drop a freebie on somebody out of love, but that it shouldn't ever be taken for granted. Setting boundaries means that you say, this is what's appropriate here. This is what's appropriate to be in my sphere. This is what's appropriate for being allowed access to my person. And if you're not able to work with those boundaries, perhaps we're not going to be close. We're allowed to say for ourselves, this is what's appropriate for me, and this is not appropriate for me. And let people bounce off the boundary that we've set like a rubber bumper. If somebody wants to take something from you that you're not willing to give, if somebody is taking you for granted, if somebody feels that they're allowed to have just endless access to all that you have to offer without any mutuality or reciprocity, put up that rubber bumper. Boing. Paris says, I am listening with my heart and soul. I hear you, Paris. We're going to talk about it on Saturday when I come over. We're going to talk about this card and we're going to figure it out for ourselves because we deserve this, both of us. It's never a bad idea to act from generosity, but it's not always a good idea to allow oneself to be taken for granted either. Finding the happy medium there involves setting boundaries. And that I really like that this card is threshold protection and honor. Threshold protection is here's the line, but honor is I am honoring myself and I am honoring you and I'm honoring our relationship by treating it with appropriate value. Let's appropriately value ourselves today by setting good boundaries. Stacy says rubber bumper is fun to say. I know it is fun to say. Let's today treat ourselves with honor and others with honor by appropriately valuing ourselves, setting good boundaries, and remembering that the people who care about us should be the ones who are actually trying the hardest to support us. And we should do that for others too. So we have to query where we're expecting something for free that maybe someone isn't willing to give, or where there's become a discomfort. Maybe make the offer, hey, I've been thinking I want to start to contribute to your well-being. How can I do that? Is there a Patreon? Is there a something somewhere that I can sign up for? Okay, that's our short bit if that's what you were here for. One really great magical practice, by the way, for setting boundaries, if you would like to try this, it's probably wet enough now in California that we can do this safely, is to go out onto a concrete driveway or stone platform. You don't want there to be any leaves on it, so you'll need to sweep it. You don't want there to be any risk of anything flammable nearby, so you want to push away any leaves or grasses or weeds. Bring yourself a bottle of 70% or higher rubbing alcohol. And this all has to happen kind of quickly. Stand there for a minute. Think about your boundary. Think about what that boundary means to you. Then pour a big wide circle of that alcohol around yourself, not close, big wide circle, stand in the middle of it and set it on fire, and stand in that ring of fire. It's epic. Feels really magical. Don't catch yourself on fire. Be careful. But I've done this many times. And don't wear like a long flowy skirt. This is not a Stevie Nicks kind of a situation. This is a leggings situation. But light that flame in a circle around yourself and feel the power of what it is to stand inside the personally flaming ring of boundaries that you are allowed to set for yourself. All right, now let's dive into practice. That was our short bit. Whew. 3 prostrations before the shrine, and let's get into it. Happy Friday, everybody. And let's take refuge within the boundaries of the Dharma. Namo Guru Be. I take refuge in the inner teacher. Namo Buddhaye. I take refuge in the great mother of compassion. Namo Dharmaye. I take refuge in the wisdom of the ages. Namo Sanghaye. I take refuge in the community of practitioners. And let's set our intention, a person, place, situation, or circumstance that will benefit from today's divination and practice and chanting. And let's recite the Four Immeasurables. May I be a source of loving kindness in this world and all worlds, bringing a generous heart to all my thoughts and doings. May I be a vehicle of compassion in this world and all worlds, ever mindful and aware of the tremendous suffering of others. May I be a brimming vessel of joy in this world and all worlds, delighting in the happiness of others as their suffering is alleviated. May I be a balance point of equanimity in this world and all worlds, seeing all as equals and all as deserving of goodness. I light this candle as a symbol of the enlightening Dharma way. May it shine brightly for the benefit of all beings. I light this incense as an offering for Guan Shi Yin, she who hears the cries of the world, mother of all. Om Ahum. 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 Reverently I prostrate with my body, speech, and mind, and present clouds of every type of offering, actual and virtual. I confess all my destructive actions accumulated since beginningless time, and rejoice in the meditation of all holy and ordinary beings. Please, Guanyin, remain until the end of samsaric existence, and turn the wheel of Dharma for sentient beings. I dedicate my own merits and those of others to the great enlightenment. 108 recitations of Namo Guanxi Yin Pusa to the one whose boundaries are so strong that all she does is glance, and you know. Namo Guanxi Yin Pusa, Namo Guanxi Yin Pusa, Namo Guanxi Yin Pusa, Namo Guanxi Yin Pusa. Namo Guanxi Yin Pusa, Namo Guanxi Yin Pusa, Namo Guanxi Yin Pusa, Namo Guanxi Yin Pusa. Namo Guanxi Yin Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxi Yin Pusa. Namo Guanxi Yin Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxi Yin Pusa. Namo Guanxi Yin Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxi Yin Pusa. Namo Guanxi Yin Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxi Yin Pusa. Namo Guanxi Yin Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxi Yin Pusa. Namo Guanxi Yin Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxi Yin Pusa. Namo Guanxi Yin Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxi Yin Pusa. Namo Guanxi Yin Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxi Yin Pusa. Namo Guanxi Yin Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxi Yin Pusa. Namo Guanxi Yin Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxi Yin Pusa. Namo Guanxi Yin Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxi Yin Pusa. Namo Guanxi Yin Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxi Yin Pusa. Namo Guanxi Yin Pusa, Namo Guanxi Yin Pusa, Namo Guanxi Yin Pusa, Namo Guanxi Yin Pusa. And our brief practice for summoning prosperity by Mipam Rinpoche. Hung chosum sasum. Try again. Hung choksum sasum nakdang chakye tu tenyo sishi chayang getsen kun dirku dirdu pelge minu par deki tashi lexok palbar sho. By the power of mantras and mudras of the three jewels and the three roots, may all the good omens, abundance, and prosperity of the animate and inanimate universe, both samsara and nirvana, be summoned and gathered here, and expand without ever declining, so that the splendor of happiness, well-being, auspiciousness, and all that is good may blaze forth. Hung Chuksum Sasum Nakdang Chakye Tu Tenyo Sishi Chayang Getsen Kun Dirku Dirdu Page Minu Par Deki Tashi Lexo Pabar Sho. And now 108 recitations of Om Mani Padme Hum, sending out to all who need it the support to cultivate good, strong, sacred boundaries and honor themselves in this world as well as others through those boundaries. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om mani padme hum. 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 And let's give thanks for our teachers. May all of my blessed teachers enjoy long, happy, healthy, productive lives and great support for their good works. May all beings benefit from their wisdom. May they enjoy a swift and happy rebirth. And long life prayer for Lama Dechen Yeshu Wangmo. Om Sosti. Through the powerful blessings of the immortal Pema Jungye and his consort, may the three secret qualities of the Dakini of Supreme Bliss Yeshu Wangmo be utterly stable, and may the light of her activities shine on the lotus groves of the teachings and of beings, so that they blossom in radiant splendor. And let's dedicate the merit. May the merit of this practice and all of my activities be of endless benefit to all beings in all realms, beginningless and continuous. May all obstacles be overcome and suffering cease at the sound of liberation. May all beings be free from suffering and its causes. May all beings have happiness in its causes. May we carry the essence of Guanyin in our hearts. Namo Guanxi Pusa. And we close with a bow to Guanyin, bow to one another, and a bow to the inner teacher. And wishing you all a wonderful day. Drop your counts in the comments after the video, or go join the Guanyin's Millionaires group on the Goddess Temple app, and you can log your counts along with the rest of us. I'll be back Monday. Have a good one. Bye.